Joe, last play of the game, it seemed like you had drawn something up maybe for Jalen. What was the play there?
It was just one of our normal plays. We were just in a unique spot where there was 20 seconds left and you want to get a shot, and I just didn't want to dribble around and keep the defense static. So advancing it wasted some time, and then just running one of the actions that kind of gets some movement and has multiple options to it. So I thought it was executed well by the guys, and it was a great shot by Jason.
The end-of-game situations, there does tend to be a lot of ISO. I think just in general there's a lot of ISO. Is that something that you want to combat there on a play like that where you're trying to get multiple options?
I mean, it really usually they're in isolation because most teams are switching because you don't want to put two on the ball with 10 seconds left in the game. So I think it's just a matter of how do you move the defense to try and get drives and try to force them into 2-on-1s with overhelps and situations like that. So I like the play that we ran with an off-ball component to it, and there were multiple layers to it, but the guys delivered.
Joe, I know you have full trust in Tatum, but when he misses the one to send it, that could have sent it to overtime, hit the side of the backboard, how do you make sure he has the trust and confidence in himself to hit that shot? I know you do, but he's probably doubting himself a little bit in those late game situations.
I really just remind him the work he puts in every day. So more times than not, more people miss game winners than they make them. So just having perspective of understanding, you got to be willing to take it, and when you don't make it, you got to be willing to shoot the next one. So he has the work ethic, the mental toughness to work through all those things, and you just got to rely on the work ethic that you put in, and he does that.
You've talked about it before, but you guys have been playing some really close games these past two. Outside of that second broken game, all of them have been coming down to the last 5 minutes. How valuable is that at this point in the season when you have so much time to work on?
Yeah, I mean, again, I enjoy leaving wins. I enjoy leaving games if you win, but also a taste in your mouth that you have to get better. So that's kind of where you're at. And those are usually when you play close games, it's because you missed a couple details on the margins. But I like that we're executing in those. And so at the end of the day, we just have to execute on both ends of the floor and gain as much experience in that as we can.
And then a lot of the times when you talk about a guy getting hot, it's like conceptualize that it's behind the three-point line. Pirtle was automatic from that inside area tonight. What were you seeing there, and how much of an adjustment were you trying to make mid-game to try to slow him down because he was so automatic?
Well, it's a unique situation, right? Because if you're in a certain coverage, you're going to give that shot up. If you're in a different coverage, you're more susceptible to offensive rebounds. So they're a tricky matchup because of those things. And when it's a 1 or 2 possession game, that shot is probably the highest valued shot that you could get on the court on both teams because he's so good at it. So it comes down to some of the other stuff. And so we just had to go back and forth. You saw we went with Sam and Luke, played one coverage, got it to a certain point, and then went back to Nimi and Allen, played a different coverage. So you're just constantly naturally just a cost-benefit analysis to each possession and trying to make it work.
Joe, Pritchard came in the third quarter there and sparked that 5 3-point run and kind of helped you guys find that offensive footing again. What are conversations with him like as he's getting ready to check into a game? Are you telling him, hey, we need you to do what you do here, or are you letting him read the situation and insert himself as such?
No, it's as simple as Peyton, you're in. That's it. But I think it's more about the conversations that you have in practice days, shoot-arounds, like just building the relationship with him, having an understanding of what his role is and how dynamic he can be on both ends of the floor. So there was no one happier in the arena than me that he was 0 for 6 because I knew the next 2 were going in. So just the conversations that you have and the work ethic that you see him put in every single day.
Jason had 9 assists also tonight and repeatedly drew multiple defenders, made Toronto pay for it. What did you see from him in terms of setting up his teammates, especially Al Horford?
Patience, patience driving, especially once you get below the free throw line, having the patience to see where the 2-on-1 was. The pass that he threw in front of our bench with his left hand where he couldn't really see it, but he trusted that Al was there because of the help and the shift that they had. So just patience once you get in there and having the understanding of where the 2-on-1 is and making the right play.
Joe, 76 points in the paint allowed. It's a continued issue for you guys, allowing points in the paint. What's your concern level on that? Like, how much do you need to address to fix that, and how much of that gets addressed when Kristaps Porzingis comes back?
So that number's a little skewed because it's Jakob Poeltl, so you have to go 76 minus 35 because he shoots floaters from inside the dots. and that's a shot that you're willing to give up over time. So those are all technically in the paint, and so some of those you have to give up. So do we have to get better at it? Yeah, 76. I know it's a number that generates a lot of headlines, and you'll be able to use that later tonight in your articles. But I would say there's probably about, half of those are because of the coverage that you're going to play on a guy like him throughout a game. The other half is we have to do a better job rebounding, and we have to do a better job at individual defense. So those are the two areas that can clean up 50% of those points, you know what I mean? Defense and rebounding. He's a bear down there, though. He's good. I mean, he's good. It's one of those situations. If you play one coverage, he's going to shoot that. If you play a different one, he's going to bury you on the glass. So he puts teams in a bind. He's a good player.
Joe, season high 18 points for Al Horford tonight. How big was his shot making, helping you guys stay in it?
Yeah, I mean, I think the best one was the kick out for the pump fake to the end one. Just his ability to just be patient and allow the offense to come to him, but still compete defensively at a high level is really, really impressive, and I appreciate that. And he's a guy where a lot of his offensive stuff comes just dependent upon how the defense is guarding him, and he lets the offense come to him, continues to compete defensively, but you can always count that he's going to make a play when it's time to make a play.
Winning on nights when you don't play your absolute best, is this
great?
Yeah, good
It's
teaching
important.
moments.
Yeah, it's important.
Obviously you want to win the game, but to be able to use this to work.
Yeah, and again, every team, it's a new season, it's a new thing. Like, you're always on a different path, and it's not like we're not coming in. We're competing. We're just not executing at the level that we need to, and so there's a difference there. Like I said, I like the mentality that we've had throughout the season. We had a great practice yesterday. We're competing. We're just not executing, and so. But when you can win and still be in games, even though you're not at your best, that gives you the mindset of like, hey, we can get better. And, so the guys have that, and we just got to continue to work through it. Thanks.